is up and welcome back to the channel. Your boy flippinstoop. I'm going to go right into why I believe a lot of resellers are doing the right thing and what might be going wrong, right? And the reason I say this is because I did this for a long time, right? I was always doubting that I had the right items. I was always wondering if you're just first starting, then maybe this might be right, right? I always thinking that I had either the wrong items. I was thinking that my description wasn't right, my title wasn't right, whatever. But the truth is, I believe most resellers, after a little bit of time, a couple months, few months, 6 months to a year, I believe you're doing the right thing, right? So stop second guessing yourself. I think where we're undermining is, first of all, eBay is a huge platform. eBay is a huge used and new reselling platform. It is massive. You can't even fathom how big it is, right? There's also over 7 million resellers. And there's people with hundreds of thousands of items in their inventory. Now, depending on what you're selling, but if you're like me and sell clothes or something that isn't as big as a profit as $1,000 profit or $5,000 profit or $10,000 profits, if you're selling something like me, like clothes, the answer isn't, are you selling the right thing? I believe the answer is truly your volume. I think a lot of us are doing the right thing. We just need to do it 10 times harder, right? Like, I believe the clothes I'm finding are selling. Okay. So if that's working for you, if you're a clothes reseller, whatever you're selling, if whatever you're selling is actually selling, that's a check mark. You're finding the right things. So leave that out of the equation. Whether are you doing that? Am I finding the right items to list? Am I finding this? Is this going to be right? Is that going to be right? So leave that out the equation because your items are selling. If you can sell one item, if you can find another item, which I strongly encourage people to sell similar items. I disapproved with that for the first 11 months. I sold everything, but when it really boils down to it, there was like 7 or 8 niches I was categorizing in that included electronics, coffee cups, plates, things of that nature, right? And then I zeroed down on a niche. But if you can zero in on a niche, I strongly encourage it. And this is why they talk about selling similar items, because eBay's algorithm gets used to what you're listing, so they know what traffic to send you. That's a no-brainer. That's factual. That's not just a guesstimate. I've done it many of times throughout my eBay journey. Do nothing but sell denim jeans for 3 months. Guess what sells? Denim jeans. I stopped listing denim jeans, start selling women's sweater. Guess what stopped selling? Denim jeans and women's sweater pick. I'm not saying all my denim jeans stopped selling, but a good portion that, it wasn't the majority of denim jeans. This is why resellers on YouTube will say sell similar items. I used to think, but it also, not only does it do that for you, it also helps you become more efficient. It really does. It helps you become more efficient because you're getting more accustomed to what you're listing, which you're gradually picking up your speed, right? And if you pick up your speed, which leads you to be able to list more items, which gets you farther along your journey. It depends on what your goal is and what you're shooting for. I'm shooting for $1 million in sales. I got to probably do 30 times the amount of work I'm doing right now to make that a reality. It's volume. If you're finding items that will sell, quit worrying about whether you're finding the right items. You're obviously finding the right items that they're selling, right? Oh, why ain't my sales up? It's volume. eBay is a volume platform. Bottom line, it's a volume platform. Look at any of the great resellers and look how much inventory they have in their store. Now, look, if you're selling houses, I'm not telling you got to have 10,000 houses in your inventory to make a living, right? I'm not saying that by no means. It may be items you're finding are selling for 3,000 and 5,000. So then maybe you don't need that much in your inventory. But if you're selling things like me, it's volume. If you're going to do a used clothes store, expect to list thousands and thousands of items, right? And if that discourages you, maybe clothes ain't the niche for you, right? My old store that I ended up folding it up, closing down shop, had about 580-ish, almost 600 items when I finally just gave up on that store and started in a niche of clothes. And once I did that, I already knew, like, my goal is 10,000 on eBay. By hopefully September of this year. But if I could push it further, I'd like to do that. And then my goal is going to be 15,000, then 20,000, and then 30 and 40. I'm going to keep going, right? And that's the whole thing. If you have over 7 million resellers on eBay, you imagine how many items are on eBay? Just in the automotive department, what do they say? They have over 141,000 different car parts you can buy. Now that's just car parts. Imagine all the different categories that are there. There's millions upon millions of items on eBay. So if you think you're doing something wrong because you got 50 items in your inventory, no, you're probably not doing something wrong. You're just so small on the scale that your items are filtering through people that have tens and thousands and hundreds of thousands of items in their inventory. Have you thought of it that way? I've thought about it that way. And I always used to think, what am I doing? There's got to be something I'm doing wrong. This is why I think the hacks to eBay on YouTube work, right? When people put that in their title, hacks to eBay, do this hack and up your sales, right? Let me tell you this right now. If you guys haven't seen my content yet, there is no such thing as a fucking hack on eBay. It doesn't exist. It doesn't happen. First thing you got to do is learn the platform. Get good at using the platform. Search around on it. Look up sold comps. Do all that good stuff so you can get a general basis of how the platform works. Okay, eBay. There's no hack on eBay. It's a system. If you do what they expect you to do on a daily basis and you grow an inventory system, you'll get consistent sales, right? You can get consistent sales that way. It took me a long time to get consistent daily sales. Well, but one thing I know is that gets that done for sure. Consistency, discipline. I just talked about these 3 traits the other day, and focus. Focus in on this is why I think having a goal start. If you don't start out with a goal and you're just kind of trying it out, see where you're going, eventually there's nothing wrong with that. But eventually sit down and write a goal. How much pieces of inventory do you want in your store in 6 months? And then when you get that number, divide that by how many days are in 6 months and see how many items you got to list a day. And stick with that and do it for 6 months. Before you start judging yourself, criticizing yourself, whether you're doing. I know, at least from my experience, when I first got started, I'd start listing items. I'd be grabbing items. I'd be tossing them up on my board over here, right? I'd be doing the photos. I do all my photos first, and then I set them here, and I grab an item right here, and I grab my phone, and I list from over here, okay? I got a measuring board right below me. Well, anyways, I would get into that. I would start doing that, and in the thoughts in my head, and the gears in my head would start going. Am I doing this right? Did I fill that description out right? Did I do this right? And then I'd give it a couple of days, like, you're just doing it right. You're doing it right. You're doing it right. Right. And then all them thoughts would start coming back up. I didn't even give it a week. Before I started second guessing whether I was doing it right or not. It's a system. Pick some items, list them every day, quit worrying so much. That's one thing that crippled me in the beginning. For 11 months, my last video I made, the last live I made, I was talking about how I overthought everything for 11 months, right? I wanted the perfect lighting. I wanted the perfect listing station. I wanted the perfect this. I had to have the perfect that. And I did that for 11 months. And I watched resellers and got ideas from them. What progress did that make me? Zero. I made zero progress throughout them 11 months. I was talking about it. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. And I was taking no action whatsoever. Your action is where it's all at, right? And if you're a beginning reseller or you're thinking about getting into reselling, I'm going to try to get rid of that lighting up there. But if you're just starting to think about reselling, I'd strongly suggest you stop thinking about it and just take action. This is I think eBay is one of the greatest opportunities to get into. Maybe as you want to be self-employed, you've never been self-employed. Maybe you want a side hustle, right? Most people start this out as a side hustle. I started this out as a side hustle. The reason I say that is you can grab anything in your house and list it, man. Anything laying around, you can grab from your closet, from your toolbox, from your kitchen table. I don't know. Maybe you might have something sitting on the kitchen table that might be worth $1,500 and don't even know it, right? And that's the fun about the beginning. I remember when me and my fiance first started, we started this journey together. We were going around grabbing everything and scanning the back of VHS tapes and scanning this and looking up this and looking up that. And it was really exciting for me, right? It was really exciting for me in the moments, and that's what led me to keep going. But the unexciting moments were the moments of, am I finding the right items? First of all, you got a search bar on eBay, and you can look up sold comps. So you can take the guessing right out the fucking game if you truly want. Just take the guessing out of the game and do your research, right? If you do that, you'll get good results, right? If you do your research, you get good results. Matter of fact, after you do your research so much in a niche, you go to the thrift store and you know what's going to sell. Very, very rarely do I ever look up things anymore. Once in a blue moon, occasionally I'll come across something that I can tell by the quality of the material that it's a good product. But I've never heard of it, right? But very, very seldom. Usually I'm grabbing the same brands, same style, same sweaters, different tag, different size, right? That's usually what I'm grabbing. Why did I pick a niche? So I could do that, right? So I could because by eliminating the search or the research part throughout the thrift store, I save myself an hour or two in a thrift store. I go into a thrift store, 30 minutes, I'm out, right? Hour max, I'm in and out of that thrift store. I can skim through, figure out what I need to get, and get the hell out of there, right? And that's what you want to do if you want to be real efficient. Now, in the beginning, I want to encourage you to be rushing around at anything. Don't rush on your listings. Don't rush on your item specifics. Don't rush the process, period, right? You're going to gradually start picking up speed as you go. Bottom line, it don't matter what you're doing, okay? If today was the first day you gave me a production job to put eyeglass kits together, right? I know this why, because I used to do it at a shop, right? And in these eyeglass kits, there's like 6 different screws. There's a little tiny screwdriver, and there's a little pieces that go right here on the bridge of your nose for comfort. And I forget what else there was in there, right? But you tell me you show me exactly how to do that, and put the cap on and stack it in the box, right? The first one takes me 1 minute and 30 seconds to do it because I'm having a hard time with screws. Eventually, I do that for 3 to 4 weeks. It's probably going to take me 20 seconds to 20, you hear me? 20 seconds to list the item. It's probably going to take me 20 seconds to do it, if not shorter. Why? Because I repetitively did the same thing. And the same is going to go on eBay. You're not going to understand the platform in the beginning. And for those of you that are already on, you'll admit the same thing. Right, you guys and girls will admit the first time you ever got onto eBay and actually started fishing around and trying to figure out how to list an item. Maybe some of you wanted to pull your hair out. I did. I'm like, what the hell is this? Well, what the hell is that? Well, what the hell is it? You don't know nothing about it. Same thing with when TikTok dropped, right? I used to use the analogy MySpace, but some of you guys are much younger and don't even know MySpace ever even existed, right? So I use TikTok now. But the first time I got on TikTok to make a video, I'm like, what do I do? Holy shit, I only got 30 seconds. What am I going to say in 30 seconds, right? So I'm like, trying to rush shit out, and none of them went anywhere because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And it's the same thing. When you first get onto the eBay platform, you're going to have it's like a sea of doubts come your way. I doubt I'm listing. Probably my title's wrong. Probably this is wrong. Probably that's wrong. Yup, I knew it. I'm getting the wrong inventory because nothing sold tonight. Here's what we do. We start tonight and we want results tomorrow. That's just, come on, man. A lot of us do that. We're not expecting it to take us 3 years to get the results we're looking for. We're not expecting it to take 10 years to become the millionaire reseller that you want to be. But could you do that in 10 years? Absolutely. With mad volume and a good niche. You know what? I believe you could probably do it without a niche. I'm a firm believer of a niche, and I definitely was not a firm believer of a niche. My first 12 months, guys and girls, I was listening to somebody. I don't know if you can say other people's names on here. I'm not anymore because a couple of my videos got dropped. But I followed a very successful reseller. We'll just say that. And he was going over the importance of picking a niche. And I'm like, you know what? I literally was watching him. And I'm like, fuck you, dude. I'm not picking no niche. I'm going to do it my way, right? Well, it only worked for about 3 months further. And it's not because I didn't pick a niche. It was because of the COVID and the holidays, right? And it just died out. There was no saving it once I got it so far below seller's level that I just picked a niche and went with it, right? No, that was the best decision I made. Why? Because eBay knows now when a woman is looking for a woman's vintage sweater, I bet you 75% of the time they get tossed my way. Maybe 60% of the time. I don't know the exact number, but I have enough vintage items on. When somebody's looking for something vintage, I'm one of the stores they're seeing, right? And you can do that too with a niche, right? We had a couple people in the Facebook group. They did cards, right? You get enough cards. There's DVDs, whatever it is you could do. And there's niches inside the clothes, right? You think about how many different articles of women's clothing there are. Fucking all kinds of them. There's vests, there's jackets, there's coats, there's blazers, there's tanks, there's t-shirts, there's sweaters, there's pants, there's shorts, there's capris, there's cropped pants. I mean, like, I just named off 20 different niches inside the woman's category of clothes. And there's more than that, okay? There's more than that. There's shawls, there's wraps. I mean, I could go forever, right? But the truth is I have too many niches in one category I got. If I can narrow it down to like just women's vintage sweaters, I think I'd do. I mean, no, I don't think I know I would do better than what I'm doing now. Because every time you switch up what you're listing a little bit, it throws eBay off. It spins it for a loop a little bit. You know, and I can contradict what I just said too, because I had a sell everything store in the beginning and it worked. But I did notice this in that store too. I did a bunch of electronics when I could find electronics, and my electronics were moving in and out, selling them, getting returns, selling them, getting returns, right? But then I switched up to coffee cups. Why? Because coffee cups were 99 cents. And I'm like, ching, in the thrift store. I'm like, I'll buy that for 99 cents, sell it for 20. I'll buy that set for $4 and I'll sell it for 60. Right? I was thinking about the return on investment was bigger and less likely to be getting returns when it's a coffee cup unless it got smashed on the way out, right? So I did that. And then I did coffee mugs for a couple months, guys. And guess what happened to the electronics? And sales went crashing. That's just the way the cookie crumbles on eBay. So if you're a sell everything reseller, you're going to have that happen. Maybe you stumble upon somebody that sells out a CD store, right? So you buy all the CDs for very low and you're listing them all for $1. Well, if that's all you're listing for the next 6 months of CDs, and then you run out of CDs and you start throwing freaking coffee cups in there, it's going to throw eBay for a big loop. Your sales are going to dip down for a little bit. They'll gradually come back up, right? Because then they'll catch on to the traffic that you're wanting sent to you. That's exactly how the eBay platform's set up. The bottom line is eBay's set up to win. Anybody that thinks eBay ain't set up to win, they're not thinking logically, right? Because first of all, if it wasn't set up for win, they wouldn't be a business. They want to see you and I make it to the next level. Now, I talk deeper in my the Facebook group a lot on thought process, and we're going to get into that too on YouTube Live, about what thought process led me to a part-time to a full-time reseller. I had two completely different thought processes. When I was a part-time reseller, I did not believe this was actually going to happen to me going full-time in making the margins that we're making today. And it's not huge. I'm not making I'm not rich. Okay. I'm not where I want to go, but we're way further than when we started. Basically what I'm saying. I didn't think it was ever possible for me to do this full-time and me not to have to go to work anymore. I was just trying something. And then I started seeing little results doing that. And I kept telling my fiance, I'm like, babe, we made $1,000 this month. Like, don't you think we can make $2,000? And I want you to think of this way. I want you to think of like this in the beginning and even months in. If you can make one sale, you watching this video, if you can make one sale, don't you think you can make $2,000? You already made one. So the only time we think we can't do something is when nothing happens, right? When you thought, oh, I'm going to resell on this platform. You go out, you list 10 items and nothing sells, right? Nothing sells, and it never does, right? Well, then, yes, you would doubt the platform. But most people that list a few items sell one of them items within the first week or two. It's crazy. That is crazy. You might open a brick and mortar store, and you might not get one customer the first week, unless you have a whole bunch of money to invest in the marketing and promoting at your grand openings today, right? And you might not sell anything. You list a few items on eBay and you're selling something in a week or two. I can almost guarantee it. I've started 3 and helped my fiance start 1. Okay. So doing 3, I started 3 and she started 1. In every single one of them, within 3 days, I think the longest was 4, an item or 2 sold. So that means anybody can do it. If you can do 1, you can do 2. If you can do 2, you can do 2,000. If you can do 2,000, you can do 4. This is the same analogy I used in my month. The first time we broke $1,000 in sales on eBay, I sat down with my fiance. I'm like, babe, if we can do 1, we can do 2, right? She's like, yeah. Then we hit 2. I said, if we can do 2, we can do 4. And if we can do 4, we can do 8. If we can do 8, we can do 16. Like I just kept going, right? And you have to have that. You have to have that attitude. You have to believe in yourself deep down enough that you're going to make it happen. Why do I say you got to believe in yourself? Because there's going to be a whole bunch of fucked up shit that happens throughout the process, right? My story is going to be different than your story, which is what makes it unique, I believe firmly. But a lot of fucked up shit's going to happen to you throughout your journey on reselling. And usually 90% of the shit that happens is because we're impatient and we don't want to wait for the results that's coming down the road if we stay consistent. That's usually what it is. The hiccups you're going through, everybody else went through too. Well, it's hard for me to find inventory, Justin. Well, so was it for everybody else that got started. We got to realize that we're nothing unique. When you start reselling, you're no different than any others of the 7 million resellers that got started. The only difference is the time that you two started. That's it. There's nothing different between me and you. When you got started and when I got, nothing different. I didn't know jack shit about the platform. I did not know how I was going to get my next piece of inventory. I did not know how to price anything. I did not know how to do customer service too well whatsoever. I did not know how to package an item. I did not know how to ship an item. I did not know how to do any of that shit. I didn't know how to print a shipping label. For the first 14 months, I cut out all my shipping labels. I didn't buy a label printer until it had to been 16 months or so into it, maybe 18 months into it. I cut them all out. I did that every single day. I cut them out and then I taped them. I'd slap them on a package and I put three pieces of the good old handy tape right over top of it. Okay, that's what I did. Literally, I would cut them out and I'd take 3 long strips of tape and put them over, and that worked for 18 months. Why did I do that? Because I was a tightwad and I wanted to put every penny back into the business. That's what it really was about, right? I could have ordered one of them the first 2 months, but I figured, well, why would I waste my money on that? When, although in hindsight, it will save you money. The reason I say that is because ink cartridges cost a lot of fucking money, man. And you're going to go through a lot of them when you're getting 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 sales a day, right? 50, 100 sales a day. You're going to go through a whole lot of ink cartridges on a printer. So it is better to get a laser printer. You know, I'm not telling you to do that now. If today is your first week, don't waste your money on a laser printer right now. Wait. You start getting 5 to 10 consistent sales every single day, and I wouldn't even say 5, maybe 10. You start getting 10 consistent sales every day, then I would think about a label printer because you're going to save a lot of money in ink cartridges. You know, you do 10 sales a day for 30 days. That's a good chunk of sales. You're going to be printing out a lot of paper. You're going to be losing a lot of ink. And I mean, cartridges, I think last time I bought them, they were $35, maybe $45. That was just for one black cartridge, right? Because it's not like I was printing in color. So I love talking about, the potential that is on eBay. Matter of fact, I believe eBay is, and I'm not saying this because I've been reselling on it. So we started another company. Right. Now I haven't started a million companies, so I can't tell you. I've started 3. Okay. The grass company, the first one I ever did, I got about 20 car accounts. My vehicle broke down and there went the grass cutting company. It just died. Right. I couldn't get to my account, so I couldn't cut the grass. So number 2 was eBay. Okay. And then number 3 was this company. Let me tell you what's easier. We got about 11 jobs, maybe a dozen jobs last year with this company. Maybe between $300 and $600 a job, but we also got all the items in the house, so that adds up to eBay, 6 figures. My strong opinion on starting a company, this is one of the best places to start. Why? It's free. You don't got to pay for nothing. You don't got to pay for any marketing. You don't have to pay for you, you don't have to pay to advertise your items. They do that for you, right? They have a platinum. They have, I mean, a platform that has hundreds of thousands, millions of active buyers a month. You can't build that in 5 years. You cannot build 100 million customers in your brick and mortar in a year. I want to see you do that. I want to see anybody do that. 140 some million active customers. An active customer is somebody that is actually coming there and purchasing something, not just that's a customer. Person come in, just look at your stuff and leave. That is not a customer. Okay, that's not a customer. You walk into a Walmart, you use the bathroom and leave. You were not a customer. You walked in, looked for something, they didn't have it. You walked out. You were not a customer. When I say 140 some million active buyers a month, that is people that are actually purchasing something. So that means over 140 million active sales a month. Does that open your mind up a little bit to how big the platform is and what the potential is for you on there? So what that's saying, if there's that many sales per month, right? And it might be up because this was a while ago I did that research. I'm sure it's up, right? If there's that many sales in a month, I'm going to do this on my phone right now. Let's do this. There's 7 million resellers, a little over 7 million resellers. So if you do, let's see, 140, I don't even know my phone will go that big. 140 million divided by 7 million equals, oh shit, 140. Trying to get the proper number for you guys because I don't like to play the guessing game. Divided by 7. That would act okay. So if there's 140 million, that means 20 million of them you could obtain. 20 million of them sales you could obtain if you had enough inventory in your system. That is fucking insane. Granted, you would have to have a whole lot of inventory in your system to get, I mean, think about that. But that's breaking it down. Now, you know, then that math was factual. But it's obvious most of us aren't going to have 20 million items in our inventory. That'd be fucking batshit crazy, right? I don't know if there's anybody on eBay with that many items in their inventory. But I'm just giving you the math of how much traffic is coming into eBay. How much traffic is coming into eBay. In how you're going to get that traffic is build an inventory system. You've heard me say it a lot in the past. If you build it, they will come. That's so truthful. If you build it, stay consistent daily. And if you don't want to do it daily, put some in your draft bank for Saturday and Sunday. Work hard Monday through Friday and Saturday and Sunday. Just wake up in the morning and upload some to your draft. Use your drafts on Saturday and Sunday so you can have the weekends off, right? If you do that every single day and build a good inventory system over a year to 10 years, you'll blow shit out of the park. People are like, man, that's a long time. Man, people go to school for 10 years to be a doctor. And when they come out, they're freaking so many hundreds of thousands of dollars in the debt, they don't even make profit for their first 5 years. Shit's crazy what you can do on eBay. Okay. Now I'm not saying I'm scratching. I'm a tiny little ant, and I'm actually a little piece of sand of that 7 million because I haven't built a substantial inventory system yet. I only have what is it? Just under 5,000 items in my inventory. Actually, we're over 5,000, almost 5,500 items in our inventory system right now. So I'm like, right? I'm a very small store on eBay. So does that tell you anything? You can have 5,000 items in your store. Let's put it this way. Your average Walmart has 2,800 different items in their inventory Any one given time. That's give or take, right? Any one given time in one of their locations. So I have almost double that in my inventory, and I'm still a small store. That tells you how big the eBay platform is. You hear what I'm saying? That tells you how massive the eBay platform is. And the opportunity is there for all of us to grab it. I want to see everybody win. That's what I want to do. That's what I want this channel for, is to maybe optimize the way you're thinking about eBay and think about it in a different term, right? That's really what I want out of this channel, is to help somebody maybe see something they haven't seen yet in eBay. Like, wow, that is a big opportunity. I'm going to get motivated and start kicking eBay's ass, right? Like, that's the attitude you should be going into eBay every day. Like, I'm going to kick eBay's ass today, right? I'm going to get more. It's a big company. If you really think, it's really competitive. eBay is really competitive, because not only do you want good sales, so do them other 7 million resellers. Now, I'm not saying all 7 million resellers are full-time resellers, because they're not. But there's a lot of other resellers out there that want the go-to, and they're going for it, right? So competition's stiff. If you watching this are listing 60 items and I'm winning 30 and I'm listing 30 a day, you're kicking my ass times 2. You're going to get twice the amount of work done in 1 year than I do in 1 year. It's going to take me 2 years at 30 items a day to get to where you're at when you're doing 60. It is a volume game. Anything you're doing, wherever your eBay business is right now, if you double down on your volume, you'll double your results. If you triple down on your volume, you'll triple your results. All right. And not everybody starts out with thousands of items to list, but I have talked to people that do have that. If they just went down and started doing 10 a day, and then when they were able to, when eBay allowed them to do more, meet that quota and just their business will grow so fast on eBay, it'll be batshit crazy. It'll be nuts. If you can, the whole, anything you do in life, really, if you really look at it this way, it's all volume. You want to get in good shape in the gym? It's about volume. It's about intensity. It's about consistency. It's about focus. It's about discipline, right? And those three traits I talked about the other day, how to dominate the eBay platform, it literally is wrapped right around those 3 things, and that's it. I'm not saying that's all eBay is and that's all your struggle is going to be. That's some of your physical struggles you're going to have to deal with. Your focus, your discipline, and your consistency are your traits. I'm not talking about the difficulty finding inventory, right? But that's what makes people give up. Well, I can't find inventory today, so fuck it. Dude, go grab a few shirts out of your closet, man. You don't need them all. Go grab a couple. You know how many times my fiance brought, I'm like, babe, oh, I'm stressing out. I'm not going to hit my number today, right? Everybody ever feel that way? You're like, you've been doing good for a while, and then all of a sudden you're 2 shy or 3 shy of what your number, whatever you set your number to be. I've done that. My fiance come down 30 minutes later and bring me 3 pairs of pants. Babe, I ain't wore these in 6 months, and I'm not going to. Wham. That's teamwork, baby. So it worked out, right? And you're going to have days like that. You might have months like that. I said, you're going to have months like that in the beginning. You're going to be able to maybe just go get, a few items. You're going to list them. You got to wait for them to sell. You got to wait for the return. When we first started, you had to wait 3 weeks to get your first payout. I don't know how that is anymore. I see the express payouts. I don't know if it's express for the people that just get started. If you just started an account today, please let me know how that works out. I don't know that anymore, right? I know now I get paid fast, but it wasn't like that in the beginning. But before us, it was things like, I started when PayPal was there, right? There wasn't this, you had to link your bank shit. All you had to do was have PayPal card. But there's people in the beginning, they were using checks and money orders. That'd be crazy. You imagine how long it'd take for a money order to get to you, and then the items got to get to them before the money order clears, and then you got to, man, that would have been a hell of a process. So they are making the eBay platform a lot smoother. I hear a lot of talk about how ancient eBay is, right? I get it. It's not up to par with like Amazon and things like that, but I seriously think the platform's easy to use. Once you understand the basics on eBay, it's an easy platform to use. Why keep confusing it? Why make it like Amazon? eBay's eBay. Amazon's Amazon, right? You don't need all the features that Amazon has, right? You don't need that. Just like there's a lot of features on eBay I don't even use. I don't use. There's certain things people some of you guys on the channel might ask me about something, and I'm not trying to detour you away from my video. I know what sells items every day. All the rest, I don't really care about. Right? I don't. Like there's certain things I hire a CPA to figure that shit out. I'm not going to do my own taxes. Are you crazy? I don't have time for that. I want my time to be put in volume of my listings, consistency, and discipline on a daily basis. There's certain things that are outside of my league. I'm going to hire that out, right? All right, it's your boy Flip Soup. I got to wrap this up. If you liked this live, do me a favor and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. If you are subscribed, tell me some things that you would like to hear me ramble about eBay. There is so much. I've talked so much over the past 3 years about eBay. You guys, I've been making video content now for 5 years, but the first 2 years, I was actually kind of doing motivational encouragement. I was doing motivational videos. I did some exercise videos and things of that nature. And then I started reselling. And I said, hey, you know what? I'm going to take this live and start making live content about reselling in my journey. So hopefully something I went through, you guys can learn from and you don't have to go through, right? So share your thoughts below. It's your boy Flip and Stoop.